Milan Design Week and Salone del Mobile have played a huge part in my work and life for over a decade. It's difficult to express how much it meant to be back in one of my favourite places in the world during what would have to be the city's absolute prime, all after a pandemic-induced 3-year hiatus. Milan coverage has played an important part in Yellowtrace content since the very beginning. In 2014, we decided to step things up and we created MILANTRACE, a project that offers comprehensive editorial and video coverage on Milan, backed up with the talk series that brings the definitive Design Week review back to Australia, but also to the rest of the world. Over the years, MILANTRACE talks, which are delivered as an immersive multimedia experience, have been described as the next best thing to being in Milan, minus the blisters. And so the attendance and the prominence of these events grew each year. Our whole team, and me personally, puts in a huge amount of work into bringing this project to life, because distilling the essence of the world's biggest design event is no easy task. Milan Design Week and Salone del Mobile are without a doubt the epicenter of design, the absolute benchmark of cutting-edge ideas, the greatest source of knowledge and inspiration one could ever hope to tap into. It's also a global meeting place of so many people I admire deeply. This short film, which we captured during the week, feels extra special this year. It formed an important part of our MILANTRACE talks, and now we want to share it with the wider audience. It's my love letter to Milan, and a celebration of the week and the people who have shaped my work and my life for over a decade. The film follows 3 major sections responding to the key themes I felt very strongly on the ground this year. The past will take you on a journey of retrospectives, anniversaries, and product reissues. The present looks at designers, brands, and products of the moment. And the future presents emerging talent, new ideas and aesthetics, and provocative concepts that break new ground. I hope you enjoy it.
sempre di più, devo dire, al contrario di tutto il resto, all'ideologia. Cioè credo molto al disegno che sia fatto secondo un concetto preciso, non secondo delle regole, diciamo.
Ever since I was a student, it was like this sense of wonder that a city can completely change its identity for a week.
I really want people to be immersed in this collection and see how these different artisanal techniques can be applied across all these people, but really feel what it's like to have to be immersed in the whole thing.
My label, under my own name, has been 20 years in the making, and we've always shown in Milan. We've done a whole series of crazy things over the years, and this was an opportunity to relook at the bits that have given us our success, and then maybe open up a bit the process behind them, and show even some stuff that we did and never showed. Some prototypes that we might do later, and then a bit of future thinking and upgrading of some of our things, and then show that design is still mutating, changing, and still relevant, I hope. You know, it's been really difficult over the last couple of years to launch things in our field, because, you know, it's fine to speak about what you do on Zoom, but, you know, some of our stuff is about how things smell, some of it is how things feel to the touch, or even the acoustics of something. And certainly luminosity, which is our lighting business, depends on being seen in physical spaces.
We are inside the Fioraio Radelli in the city center of Milano,
is an historical flower boutique, and the original project was by Guglielmo Ulrich to display and sell flower. Interacting with the existing aesthetic, I created a dialogue between inside and outside. I think that the beauty is the result of a layering process. It's very interesting for me to make my product interact with something existing.
This table is very much about sharing things, I think. You see people are walking around, they are talking. It's like a sort of excuse to be together. And that's, for me, it's super important to really have an object that takes people together, that hold each other together.
The thing that I always hope to contribute is a little bit of beauty. That's the reason that I do my work. There's no other agenda, there's not a goal beyond that. There's just about making something in the world that is beautiful.
It's not Milan only because Milan is Italian city or Italian design is very famous. Milan is because everybody from all around the world is coming in Milan, so it's very international for these days. And for a new brand like La Manufactura, it's important to show up in this occasion. The idea of the installation was being a museum, connecting the culture with what we are doing, art and craft. And I like this idea that each piece has a different feeling, soul, but together they create something else. And I love that people understand that. It's not only buying a chair or a sofa, they're buying culture, they're buying a legacy, they're buying a community of people that work hard to make these things and to make you more happy in a way.
I opened up my studio for the first time to public. I mean, it was kind of a stretch for me. We live in Italy. I mean, literally, we live in almost like a museum, if you think about it. You can't just learn from what surrounds you at the moment. You learn from the Colosseum, as you learn from the Baths of Caracalla, as you learn from an 18th century building, as you learn from a diner, an American diner, or incredible architects such as Jörn Utzon. I mean, your opera house is like one of the most incredible buildings in the world. So why not take that all into consideration when you're planning, when you're designing? Something that I hope that people really, when they see my work, that they maybe drill a small hole in the aesthetic walls that they have built for themselves and see that there's something else out there, and really trying to jump beyond those borders and not being afraid.
The goal of this project is really to create a platform for forward-looking thinkers, people who are really working on the future and taking risks, really presenting the need a platform, a space to present work that might not find a space elsewhere. We're not just like renting a hangar or a warehouse somewhere, but we're actually using this as a mechanism for the city to discover itself. Like the space we're in here, this military hospital, I mean, it's largely disused. It's never in 100 years been open to the public before. And it's just one of the most extraordinary, beautiful corners of Milan. It's true, it's a very short period of time, 1 week, but that can actually change your life. Like the certain encounters that you make in a place like this, in this really kind of an intensity, this distillation of energy that is an imagination that you find in a place like this can really be a turning point. And that's what we want to create, a group of people who have kind of a common ideals, common aspirations, and give them an opportunity to meet each other and then hopefully continue to work together over the coming years.
Zaventem Atelier, we are like a big family of designer, creative people, and the idea is really to move like a family, like a travel. So we arrive in Baranzate, we are with our camper, we are at the bar, there is the nightclub, so it's really we try to share our way of walking, living, partying, so it's really like a more philosophy, because there is energy and honesty. It's not about business, it's not about money. We are not there to make money, we're just there to share. The adventure, all the adventures for me, for us, is more important than the result. Really, it's really something I have in my mind, it's my philosophy. I prefer the way to go than the result. If the way to go is good, I win.